Palooka? What's up? Ooh. Oh. These are all very nice. We've got Zeus, so we could go for her duo. What do I need for... Oh, gosh. Like, wow, a lot of the duos we need are Artemis related. Oh, okay, so... Divine Strike, Divine Flourish, plus any of those. Lightning Rod is Deadly Strike, Deadly Flourish, True Shot, Artemis Aid, Hunter's Flare. So, it's... I can take True Shot, or I can take Deadly Flourish. Right? Oop, other way. Yes. Okay, let's go with Deadly Flourish. Okay, so we want to try and bump into Zeus and Artemis again, if we can. Artemis is so thirsty for Achilles. Artemis is supposed to be asexual, but she is fangirling over him pretty hard. Ooh, the range on this spear. Boom! Oh, there's a Medusa.
All set. That's a relief.
As the saying goes, we all simp for someone. Not everyone simps, but I think the majority of people simp.
Yeah.
I've met my fair share of asexuals and aromantics in my life. Strange bunch, but you know, you do you. Oh, speaking of, thanks Nightbot for the reminder. But speaking of the VODs, I should have the entirety of the third stream up on YouTube by tomorrow. And because I finally found like a much better method to upload all the episodes. It's kind of a load off. Silly goose.
Yeah, might as well.
How foolhardy of you.
Come and get it.
Worthless wretches.
Cheers.
Should be getting pretty close to the Hydra. Anyone doing anything interesting this weekend? Got any big plans or getting any projects done? Watching any shows?
I can use this.
Oh, we got Heartrend. That's not what I wanted. Ooh, nice.
Tart and tasty.
Nice! Leveled up Heartbreak Strike. I'll take that. D&D tomorrow. Papa and Living Legend of D&D tomorrow. I have D&D on Monday.
How's the old neck holding up?
Wow, a lot of y'all got D&D going on. Okay, so everyone fill me in. How's your D&D going? What campaigns are y'all doing? And such and such. And I hate the pink ones. Shooting out barriers. Like these I don't mind, because I can actually like do something about them. I can block them. like it when I make the heads attack each other. Sisyphus!
Got you covered.
I commissioned a new portrait for your character. Minds of Fandalar? Is that Fandalar or is it Pandalar? I imagine it's Fandalar. Never heard of that. Oh, get your Mortek crawler up and running. Dude, that model is so much bigger than I thought it was. I remember the first time I saw a Mortek crawler in person, I was like, Jesus! Like, that thing is huge! I hate their rules. Like, they really need to make better rules for characters avoiding getting shot if they're gonna keep that thing in the game, because it just breaks all the rules. I just get to keep rolling Sisyphus.
Yes.
But that's awesome. Studying for a math test on Tuesday and then start packing for your break. Awesome. Good luck with your math test, my dude. Keep studying hard. Be better than me. I was terrible at education. Or I was terrible at being a student. I actually kind of miss teaching. I was thinking about that earlier today. It's like, man, I miss having students. I was a good teacher. I take a lot of pride in my times as a teacher. My character found his lost mother and she was bait for an ambush, and we have been betrayed and framed for the murder of the head honcho of the Enclave we're a part of. It's a campaign where you're playing as dragons? Dude, that sounds right up my alley. That sounds so awesome. I love dragons. Like, when I discovered that D&D had Dragonborn, I was like, oh my god.
May I help you? Simple.
Dang it. We still haven't gotten one of the ones I need. Ooh, Serrated Point is kind of amazing.
That'll do.
Doing a custom one of my friend's universe, but my character got a curse and improper dwarf faction and I lashed out in rage. And I got forced a stage further while trying to find the curse's cure. Oh, jeez. You killed a green dragon last session. Nice. Oh, young green dragon. I don't have a reference for how powerful dragons are. I have yet to fight a dragon in D&D. Is there any lore about war dancers? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of lore about war dancers. Is there like a particular thing you're looking for?
In the name of Hades. The goods.
Lizardman, yeah, I don't know anything about it either. I've never watched Critical Role. I want to watch Critical Role, but I've never got, like, made time for it. And I feel like I'm so far behind now that it's, like, impossible to catch up. The black dragon is the most deadly? That's interesting. I mean, that's pretty common for fantasy archetypes, is the black dragons are like the most dangerous. I always kind of liked that in Warhammer Fantasy, like none of the dragons are inherently more deadly. Like, coloration does make a difference because it, like, you can tell you a lot about the dragon, but like it has nothing to do with the dragon's power level.
I'm positively moved.
Why will you not give me what I want?
You really missed an easy shot here, Zacharias. But I will not. You'll see.
She'll get over it.
Gold dragons are the most powerful?
Hey, Baldy.
And here.
Ow!
not angry anymore. Not really, anyway. But you just watch yourself with me. You got it?
Artemis, you're so vindictive.
I'll just take this one.
We could see Athena. I don't have the right Athena buff, though, to get her duo. But it looks like it's an Asterius fight, so yeah, sure. Oh no, it's Butterfly. What?
Butterflies better stay away from me.
What do I need for Athena and what's her face's duo? Deadly Reversal. I need Divine Strike or Divine Flourish. I don't have that as an option.
Your wisdom guide me. Come, fishies. There. Another car.
So just curious, why have any of y'all ever played the
Fountain chamber.
Have any of y'all ever played the Warhammer Fantasy
I'm as healthy as can be,
RPG?
but
Like, would you be
cheers.
interested to play it, or are you kind of like, nah, I really like D&D? Like, what are your feelings on it?
Thanatos?
Thanatos!
How goes it, Zagreus? Let's get this done. All of you, prepare to die again.
Hope you don't mean me.
Gather around.
It's regenerating.
Good grief, my DPS on this build is nuts. This is easily the most overpowered build I've run in like a hot while.
Best.
Life is short.
Dude, get in line, Thanatos.
You're not too bad at this. Stay alive.
See you later. Yeah, the Ratcatcher's Discord is like the big Discord for the RPG. I kind of want to like make my own module for it and release it, like a fan-made one. Take the campaign I was running with Cold and the guys and just like release all the rules and the characters and stuff for it. Because like I developed most of the story, we just started running into scheduling stuff. I think it'd be fun just to see people be able to try it out.
Open up.
You leave my troves alone. my time.
I'll take it. Good.
Could organize a party on the Discord server. It's true. I just wanted to know a story involving the War Dancer. So here's what I can tell you about War Dancers, like really easily off the top, like just off the cuff, right? War Dancers are essentially, they're essentially a religious order, while also being an important societal group within Wood Elf culture. Kind of the big thing about them is that they're the storytellers, right? War Dancers are the guys who were responsible for keeping track of the myths and legends of the Wood Elves, the great stories, all of the creation myths, and like the tales of the gods, and like all of the great heroes and champions and stuff. And through their dances, they basically keep those memories alive, keep those great epics to be retold. That's one aspect of War Dancers, is that they're divine storytellers. The other thing is that they're the priests of Loek, right? And Loek is the trickster god of the elves. He's a very shadowy, mysterious figure, and the War Dancers seek to emulate him, and in all ways, which means that they're very mysterious. They're all about understanding and divining, like, the true nature of the Wind of Ulgu, which is shadow magic. But they're all about, they have a lot of, they're perfectionists. They are easily the most skilled warriors among the Wood Elves when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, and they can of course wield a variety of weapons. They tend to be a little fickle. Like predicting exactly what a Wood Elf or a War Dancer wants from you, or what they're gonna do, is difficult, and they can actually be pretty dangerous, as they have a couple of really nasty habits / sports. Probably the most famous of which is that if an enemy is captured within Athel Loren, sometimes the War Dancers will get a hold of them. And if a War Dancer gets a hold of you, basically what they'll usually do to you is that the War Dancers will either, it'll basically be up to them if you are either A, let go, B, just killed on the spot, or C, which is the most common option, they'll make sport out of you. And what the War Dancers will do is they will fight you in an arena, and what they'll tell you is the War Dancers will say, okay, if you can beat me in a fight, you're free to go. But you really don't stand a chance in hell unless you're like one of the greatest warriors of your race, because War Dancers are absurdly skilled. And for the War Dancer, for them, the goal isn't to beat you. The goal is to cut you as many times as possible without killing you. So what the War Dancers will do is they'll do their really intricate dances, which are insanely difficult to follow and are just as deadly as they are beautiful. And they'll use these crazy dances to basically slowly but surely, like, zip by you and just slice you just enough to maybe get a trickle of blood. And they'll do it over and over and over and over and over again. And for them, the sport is seeing how many times they can slice you up before you die, which is horrible. But, you know, what else?
Olympus, I accept this message. What else?
Damn it! Stop giving me heart rend. I don't want it. That being said, the Wood Elves, beyond being storytellers and kind of like gladiatorial fighters, they are also there to represent Loek. So they keep a lot of the good relations with the forest dragons, and do what they can to interact with them. Like often the often war dancers will engage shadow or forest dragons in contests of riddles, where they're either exchanging riddles or the war dancers will try and engage them in games of wit, where essentially they will focus on they'll pick like an idea, a philosophical idea, and they will debate with forest dragons about it and try and like prove that their point is better. So like one of the most famous things that they like to argue about is that the dragons contest that the first of their kind, the greatest of dragons, essentially the god of dragons, is superior, whereas the Wood Elves will argue that something like Loek is superior, and they'll have like a debate about it. If a Wood Elf promises you something, or if an elf generally, Dark Elves not as much, but Wood Elves and High Elves will always keep their word. However, you have to be really, really careful with the promises you make with, especially a Wood Elf, especially a War Dancer. Like, you have to remember that because War Dancers are essentially priests of Loek, that means they are, like, literally embodiments of the Trickster God. They are embodiments of, like, the divine jokester. So, you have to be exceedingly cautious when making any kind of bargain with them, because their interpretation of what you say and like the bargain you make could be wildly different from yours. So you have to be really, really careful with your words, and you also have to be like crystal clear that you and the War Dancer are on the same page. But the War Dancers do have a couple of really famous stories, and the War Dancers also have whereas I would say most Wood Elves are focused either on dealing with like evil forest spirits like Drycha, or dealing with like beastmen or greenskins. Like those are kind of like the primary enemies that you see a lot for the Wood Elves. And then of course there's dwarves and Skaven in that mix as well. But the War Dancers have a really nasty relationship, and because they're so close to Loek, they have a huge thing with Slaanesh. The War Dancers are one of the only groups that can travel through some of the most dangerous places in Athel Loren, because through their dancing and their understanding of like the shadowy secret paths, and the fact that War Dancers tend to know more secrets than anybody else, except for like maybe the Way Watchers, they're the ones that tend to go into like the scariest places in the forest, like the Dreaming Wood. Which the Dreaming Wood is really, really nasty because it's a place in Athel Loren where like the fabric of reality is super thin, so there are like Slaanesh demons often haunting it, and it's really easy to get your soul reaped in there. So, but probably the most famous story involving the War Dancers involves a particular war dancer who utilized an artifact called the Casket of Dreams. And the Casket of Dreams is not a good thing. It was basically like a really hardcore Slaanesh artifact that granted the War Dancer the ability to dance with a beauty and skill that had like never been seen before. But by doing the dance, it was, she was basically utilizing the power of Slaanesh to do it, and it caused the casket to basically tear open a gateway to the realm of pleasure, Slaanesh's personal palace, and like all these demons start pouring through the portal and massacring the elves, and eventually the Wood Elves managed to deal with it, but it was like a whole thing. I would say probably the most famous War Dancers, there's a couple of named ones, not playable ones, but there are some named ones. Let me see. Probably the most famous is, let me find her. Is it? No, that's something else. where it is in this book. I'll find it at some other point, but there is a story about it, and there's occasionally some named Wood Elf or War Dancers that show up from time to time, but there's not like
Why not?
there's not one in that other traditional sense, unfortunately. Lightning Strike, Thunder Flourish, Electric Shot, Thunder Flare. Sure, I'll take Electric Shock. Yeah. I wouldn't call Loic a god of vengeance. That's purely.
Have you yet heard, monster? The Queen Persephone is back to rule the underworld in all her terrifying grace. Perhaps one of these days or nights she shall be present in the stands to witness your destruction at our hands.
Galen, be gone! I'll unban you in a few minutes.
Yeah, about that. She's my mother. So maybe watch your fool mouth with me, or else I might just put in a bad word.
Oh, you disgust me, demon, that you would even dare to say such things about the Queen. Prepare now to be vanquished in her name.
You shall soon be destroyed.
We shall prevail for you in the stands.
He keeps just trying to complete his attack, but he can't. Oh dear.
Oh, it shall be my pleasure.
Not yet.
Damn you, fiend!
No, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about Broken Realms. I've not gotten my book yet, so I don't want to talk about it. If you would not mind. I don't know when my copy's gonna get here. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but it's not here yet.
No, not again!
Yes, again.
Goddess Demeter, I beg of you, assist me! Watch out!
I shall return.
Who's champion now?
Yeah, I don't know why, but like GW just like absolutely
enjoyed the show, my
hates
good